The opinions expressed on this program are those of the participants and do not necessarily reflect those of Cable 14, its sponsors, or its shareholders, Cogeco Cable, Shaw Cable, and Source Cable Limited.
Hello and welcome to the January 16th edition of For the Record, the It's Your Business segment, a monthly look at economic development in the City of Hamilton. I'm your host, Michael Marini of the City of Hamilton's Economic Development Office, and today we're talking about the downtown core. Joining me in studio are three individuals who are very involved in renewing our downtown core. Glenn Norton, the Manager of Urban Renewal with the City's Economic Development Office. Hi, Glenn.
Hey, Mike.
Tim Podesic, co-owner of Sonic Onion and a major investor in the downtown core. How you doing, Tim?
Pretty good. How are you?
Good, thanks. And Steve Kulikowski, co-owner of Core Urban Inc. and has some exciting projects he wants to talk about in the core as well. Welcome, Steve.
Thanks, Mike.
Glenn, we'll start with you. Everyone's been talking about investing in the downtown. It's on its way back. And there's certainly a number of financial incentive programs in the downtown that are very useful to investors. Can you just walk us through some and tell us about some of the new ones that just cropped up in early 2012?
Sure. And financial incentives for the city have been around, some of them for as long as 10 years, since amalgamation happened. So we've sort of added to the suite of incentives over the years as the different policy objectives have changed and as things have been added on that we wanted to accomplish. By and large, what they're about is incenting people to make an investment decision that they were kind of on the fence about, and without an incentive they wouldn't do. Specifically, housing downtown, about either building or retrofitting some of the housing stock that's down there, the multifamily I'm talking about. We also have incentives that address the need to fill some of the vacant office space. We started out with quite a high office vacancy a few years ago. We've been bringing that down steadily with incentives. And we also have some that are grants that are about improving the facade of your building. We have another one that's about the historical buildings. So they cover a broad range, but they're all about improvements to real property. So if you don't mind, I'll talk a little bit about some of the changes that we made just near the end of last year. We did review our community improvement project area downtown, and as a result of that, we expanded the area pretty considerably, and we launched two new financial incentive programs within the downtown. So if you could put up the graphic of the map of the downtown, perhaps I could just show people where we expanded the area. So the green is the previously existing area of the community improvement project area downtown, where by provincial legislation we can offer incentives. The orange is what we've added on. So quite significantly, you can see the Barton Tiffin area is now in. The corridors going out King and Main all the way to Dundurn in one direction and out to Wentworth in the other. We've added in a big section of land down by the tracks along Barton and most of Corktown. So now all the financial incentives are available in those areas. The two new ones that we've added are specific to the downtown. We have one very specific to any building fronting on Gore Park. That's where our citizens tell us most of the improvement is needed and where their source of pride in the downtown comes from, or their source of displeasure with the downtown. So for any building facing onto the Gore, we have a $50,000 matching grant for the next 3 years to enable any building owner or tenant to make their building more accessible, to make it more rentable, to make access to the second and third and fourth floors happen, so that the downtown becomes more vibrant with business.
So clearly we're getting very, very aggressive in terms of trying to create new programs to get people to invest downtown. And certainly Tim Podesic has been one that's seen the shallow days of investment, and now there's better days ahead. Certainly he's part of that. So Tim, tell us about your project at 118 James and some of the other projects that you're participating in that include city money. And I believe we have a photo of 118 James we can flash that as well.
Yeah, sure. 118 is one of the more recent projects that we've been involved in, and basically we've been downtown since '97, so we've been downtown since the days when there weren't as many people downtown and developing projects, and we're seeing them pop up all around us. we've invested in this particular building and one across the street, specifically to bring some more, viable, really cool kind of commercial space for people to open up offices in. And we're currently investigating and putting applications in for facade grants for the buildings that we have recently purchased within the last couple of years.
And what are these incentive programs meant to you, Tim? And do you think it's really helped the downtown, seeing as if you've been there for so long? Has it really spurred on investment in other areas of, especially James Street North?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, it allows people to take the money that they have invested in a property and actually use it maybe in different areas. If you know that you have the ability to access some money for facade, then you'll be able to use a little bit more of the money that you may have had that you were going to use on the facade for the interior of the building, or just simply increase your budget on the facades to allow them to be even more spectacular than you could have done without the grants.
And speaking of spectacular projects, the Bay Herkimer Lofts are certainly a great adaptive reuse project that's now open for business and having people living there. Steve Kulikowski, you've got the Witten Lofts now closer to the Bay Area. Talk about your project there and some of the projects and financial incentive programs that you're involved in with that project.
Well, the Herkimer project to start was in such a fantastic area of the city. It was located in the Durand neighborhood, and the building is absolutely spectacular. Historic architecture, beautiful sized suites to begin with, so it was already a fantastic project. It didn't fit into the community improvement plan areas. Our new project, the Witten Lofts, is in an area in the north part of the city towards the harbor, and it happened to fall into the downtown incentive plan. And it's really instrumental in getting this project off the ground. There's two programs that we currently qualify for, which is the downtown housing loan, which is a 0% loan for 25% of construction costs, which is a huge part of the viability of our project. The second one is a tax incentive grant, which is mutually beneficial for the developer and the city. And what the city does is any percentage of increase in a tax base of a property, any improvement that's brought onto that property is shared between the developer and the city for 5 years. Now, both of these programs have basically a zero net effect in the short term for the city, but the long term is a huge gain in tax base.
And Glenn, the constant refrain is we will achieve success in the downtown once we're like Queen Street West in Toronto. Do you think that's a fair comparison? Should we try to be a Queen Street West?
I don't think we should try and be like anybody, Mike. We are Hamilton, and I think it's a wonderful heritage to be proud of. We have nothing to be ashamed of. We're rebuilding and revitalizing a downtown that saw neglect for a lot of years. So I don't try and emulate any street anywhere. I'm just trying to say, let's make Hamilton be the best that it can be. We have a lot of natural heritage artifacts to work with. We have a great connection to the waterfront. I think Hamilton is quite unique.
And Glenn, for more information, if people want to invest?
investinhamilton.ca/downtown.
That's great. I'd like to thank all of our panelists today, and certainly we'll have you back once you've completed these projects and you can talk about the new projects, hopefully that you'll be working on in the downtown. For the Record returns right after this. Welcome back to For the Record on Cable 14. Before the break, we were talking about dollars and cents and investing in Hamilton, but certainly there's another aspect to downtown Hamilton. That's the quality of life and the social scene. And certainly there's one event coming up in late March that really builds on that cultural feel in the downtown core, and that's, of course, the Around the Bay Road Race, North America's oldest road race. And I'm pleased to welcome Janine Belzak, Manager of Special Events with the St. Joseph's Healthcare Foundation, to tell us a little more about the Around the Bay Road Race. Welcome, Janine.
Well, thanks, Mike.
So we know that the economic boom that the Around the Bay Road Race brings, a number of people coming to our hotels, our restaurants, our shops over the entire weekend. What does it mean for St. Joseph's Healthcare, and how are you involved in this?
Well, for the past 7 years, the race has been the signature fundraiser for our foundation at St. Joe's, so it's very important to us in terms of our fundraising. Right now, we're in the middle of our largest campaign, a $75 million campaign to support St. Joe's, where the monies raised will support the redevelopment of the West 5th site, mental health care and medical care site on the mountain, as well as supporting research at St. Joe's and our new surgical center that opened just this past fall.
So, you know, investment in healthcare and races like this raise a lot of funds. What does it mean when you have constant growth of your hospital in a downtown core? What type of impact does that have?
Well, the race will bring a record number of people to the downtown core this year. 12,000 participants in the race are expected to join us on Sunday, March 25th. And with that, you have all the spectators that join them as well, who come into Copps Coliseum to watch everyone cross the finish line. So that's pretty spectacular. When people register for the race, they're doing so, you know, for the benefit of their own health, which is always important to us at St. Joe's, but also we ask them to take it one step further and to make a pledge, or ask their fans and family to make a pledge in their name. And it's the pledges that are made in the name of the participants. That money is the money that comes to the hospital.
Now, do you necessarily have to run the entire 30K, or can you do a 5K? Can you split up that 30K and run maybe 10 kilometers each?
That's right. Yeah, there is the 30K aspect of the race, which takes you into Burlington. It's quite a trek. There are also relays, a 2x15 and a 3x10K relay. The relay sold out in October, but we do have charity spots available for those relays at our foundation. There is also the 5K trek, and what we're doing now, and which is new to the foundation, is we're very fortunate to be working with 13 corporate teams in the city. So that's 13 businesses who have signed on to join St. Joe's, to get their friends and family, their colleagues, to run in the race and to fundraise for our foundation. In each of those 13 teams are planning to raise $10,000 in pledges for St. Joe's. So that's a tremendous amount of money. Our goal this year is to raise $240,000 in pledges for the race, and over the past 7 years, we've been successful in raising over $1 million for the hospital, so we're feeling very confident about the $240,000 that we're hoping to raise by March the 25th.
Well, I think it's a perfect time we're talking about this, because people with their New Year's resolutions want to get fit. How can they get more information? How do they register, Janine?
That's right. And again, I think it's important to remember, you know, you may not be ready to do the 30K, but please consider walking or running, or a combination of both, of the 5K. Many people start with a 5K, and soon enough they're running a 10K relay, and it's a great thing for our city. So I guess the most important thing is to register quickly. I know the Round the Bay office does expect the 30K component to sell out anytime this week, and the 5Ks will follow quickly. So the first thing to do is definitely get yourself registered to race, or to walk or run the 5K or the 30K. And if you're interested in a charity spot, check out the website for the foundation.
So we've just flashed all the information, but certainly people can contact you at the foundation if they need more information. All that information is on the website. And I want to thank you today for telling us all about this great race. We encourage everyone to participate and attend, and we understand that Cable 14 will go step for step with the racers and have some post-race coverage in the days and weeks following. But that's it for today for the Record, the It's Your Business segment. A reminder, we return on March 19th. Thanks for watching.